welcome back to another Bible Time. If you're watching on YouTube, I highly encourage you to join our Facebook group. There will be a link down in the description for that. The reason being is that I post this video to the Facebook group as well, and that's where most of the engagement is. That's where all the discussion is, and I don't want you to miss out on that. So that's a big part of this, is being able to discuss the Word of God and share our thoughts and ideas together. The putting it on YouTube was mainly just a convenience thing for if anyone wants to refer to an old episode. And it's in a playlist on YouTube, so it's easy to find. But we're all about community at P346, and I want you to be a part of it. So don't miss out. Please follow the link to join us in the group. Alrighty, so in this episode, I wanted to do Psalm 27. I'm gonna read it and discuss a little bit about it. So here goes. But before I do that, and by the way, I have the Bible open to it. I'm getting better with that. Just want to take a sip of water first. All right. My mouth has been really dry lately. It's, a coworker kind of made me think about it a little more, because he was talking about how his allergies have been bothering him. And my friend Jimmy, he was saying his allergies are really bothering him too. He feels like they're getting worse as he gets older. And I was never one to be too affected with allergies, with pollen and stuff, but I think it's hitting me a little bit. So I guess I just got to keep some water handy. All right, we'll read Psalm 27. Psalm 27 by David, a prayer of praise. You, Lord, are the light that keeps me safe. I am not afraid of anyone. You protect me, and I have no fears. Brutal people may attack and try to kill me, but they will stumble. Fierce enemies may attack, but they will fall. Armies may surround me, but I won't be afraid. War may break out, but I will trust you. I ask only one thing, Lord. Let me live in your house every day of my life, to see how wonderful you are and to pray in your temple. In times of trouble, you will protect me. You will hide me in your tent and keep me safe, on top of a mighty rock. You will let me defeat all of my enemies. Then I will celebrate as I enter your tent with animal sacrifices and songs of praise. Please listen when I pray. Have pity. Answer my prayer. My heart tells me to pray. I am eager to see your face, so don't hide from me. I am your servant, and you have helped me. Don't turn from me in anger. You alone keep me safe. Don't reject or desert me. Even if my father and mother should desert me, you will take care of me. Teach me to follow, Lord, and lead me on the right path because of my enemies. Don't let them do to me what they want. People tell lies about me and make terrible threats, but I know I will live to see how kind you are. Trust the Lord, be brave and strong, and trust the Lord. Amen. So I get I get ideas for this show just by reading the Bible, reading through the Bible, and I come across something. And when I came across Psalm 27, this is just one of those things that I had to talk about. What a powerful psalm. And we constantly need these reminders, which is why any good pastor will tell you you have to read the Bible and start out slow. But if you can work up to reading the Bible every day, that's the best, because we do need constant reminders of who's in control, and that's the Lord. The Lord's in control of everything. And if you're someone who watches the news or reads the newspaper, who reads newspapers anymore, right? But if you watch the news, you watch the media, I mean, the sensationalism is crazy. Couple things. You don't know what's true and what's not, because, just like anybody else, the news stations, they want to make money. just like any other business. So they hype things, they hype things because it creates hysteria, and it sells it brings in the crowd. People are tuning in like, oh wow, there's big things going on. And if you don't learn to unplug and you're constantly watching that news and you're constantly getting pulled into that anxiety of the craziness going on, and you don't even know how much of it's true anyways, because we know, I think most of us know, that the powers that be are controlling the media. They're controlling what we see, and they're trying to shape the way we think. And if you don't learn to unplug from that and plug into this, plug into the Bible, then you're going to get wrapped into the emotions just how they want you to be. They want you to be all, anxious and worried and everything. But the bottom line is that the Lord is in control of everything. And so let me go back to this one part here. I am really bad with this. Listen to this. This is going back to verse 2. Well, let's just start at verse 1 again. You, Lord, are the light that keeps me safe. I am not afraid of anyone. Man, these are bold words that David is saying. Brutal people may attack and try to kill me, but they will stumble. Fierce enemies may attack, but they will fall. Armies may surround me, but I won't be afraid. War may break out, but I will trust you. There was another psalm, and I don't know where it is, but I'm pretty sure I wrote it down somewhere in my notes, because I'll probably wind up covering it in another episode sometime. But in the psalm, it goes something like something about not trusting in the strength of a horse to get you safe, to get you safely somewhere, and not trusting in strong leaders or putting your faith in strong leaders, but putting your faith in the Lord. The Lord, it goes on to say, the Lord rescues those who depend on him and those who trust him. What beautiful promises, These are things I try to remind myself, because I've said this many times in the past, and I'll keep on saying it. It's easy to fall into a worldly thinking, in an earthly, worldly mentality of, well, I need to do this, or I need to stock up on this, or I need more of this in order to be successful or to be safe. And that is just not biblical at all. I'm not saying we should be irresponsible, of course not. But if you think, if you think that if I just have a pallet of this in my garage, or a pallet of canned goods, or a pallet of water, or a pallet of this, I'm going to tell you right now, that's a form of idolatry. You don't realize it. You probably don't realize it, but what you're doing is you have an underlying faith. You're putting your trust and your faith in your stock supply. Or say you're scared, right? Or nervous or worried, and you're like, I'm gonna hire a few big, huge muscular men. They're gonna protect me. But, and I'm not saying it. I'm not speaking out against security teams or militaries. They are necessary things. The question is, where are you putting your faith? Where are you putting your trust? Because at the end of the day, the bottom line is, the Lord's in control of everything. And the Bible also says, I think it was in the book of Deuteronomy, it was in some of Moses's final speeches to the Hebrews, when he was talking about the blessings and the curses, and they said that the Lord said that one of you will be able to chase 1,000 soldiers because the Lord was on their side. If they obeyed what the Lord said and they did what the Lord said, and they kept their agreement with the Lord would bless them and make their enemies terrified of them. It wasn't about how big and strong they were, how mighty they were. Most of Israel's enemies were much greater than them, much bigger than them, much more powerful, with much bigger, greater, and more powerful militaries. But that didn't matter because the Lord was on their side and the Lord was fighting for them. I'm telling you, you have to read the Bible. Because you have to be, I have to be, we all have to be constantly reminded of these promises. Because, all right, so let's go back to what I was saying about Moses and his final speeches in the book of Deuteronomy. But if they do not obey the Lord and they break the promise, which they did, and they break their agreement with the Lord, the opposite will happen. All those blessings will be their curses. One will chase 1,000 of them. They will be terrified of their enemies. Their enemies will take over. They'll invade them. They'll drag them off to foreign lands. And unfortunately, that's what happened. But the point is, and I say this a lot in podcasts, I'll say it a lot in this show, is that the Lord is in control of everything. And that can be a huge blessing and provide you a lot of comfort, or that could be terrifying. It depends where your standing is with the Lord. I take it as comforting. If I was one to believe that in life everything is just by chance, I think I would be pretty depressed, and I was at one time. But it would be depressing because it would be like, and this is why a lot of people live the way they do. The get all you can all you get mentality. Because it's like they're afraid, like, oh no, if I don't act, in that impulsive behavior, if I don't act, I might miss the boat. I don't feel that way at all. Not anymore. That's how people act, and that's how people behave that have no faith in the Lord. That think that, if I don't go out and grab what I want and get what I can, I'm going to miss out. I'm going to miss the boat. And then if they do miss out on something, then they're depressed, because they felt like they missed out. But, read the scripture. The Bible's in control. The Lord is in control of everything. Just as He giveth, He taketh away. And He decides who He humbles and who He elevates to power. That's all that the Lord's in control of all that. Nothing escapes His attention. Before Satan could do anything to Job, he had to run it past the Lord first. The Lord gave him permission. Satan couldn't do anything to him. But he ran it past him, and the Lord wanted Job to be tested, and Job was tested. And you know what? Job never cursed the Lord. Satan was confident because Satan said to the Lord, well, of course he praises you all the time. Look how blessed he is. Look how wealthy he is. I guarantee you, if you take all that stuff away, he'll curse you. Well, he was wrong. Even Job's wife encouraged him to curse the Lord. He was so bad in shape. He was sores all over the place. And he was losing his friends, his family. Some of his kids died. And his wife says, curse God and die. Die already. But he wouldn't do it. Uh-oh. I'm losing my recorder here. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay. He wouldn't do it. But after the testing that Job went through, the Lord blessed him more abundantly than he was before. The important thing is, the important thing to keep in mind, and we have to understand that when we think about blessings and we think about all that stuff, let's not think about it in a monetary sense. There's many, many ways to be blessed. Peace in your heart, peace in your mind, huge blessings, easily overlooked. And I tell people different times. I told my dad one time, peace is one of those things. We were sitting outside on his back deck, and it was a very beautiful day out. And I said, peace is one of those things that you don't fully appreciate until it's cruelly snatched away. I said, think about it. So we're sitting here on your back deck. We're enjoying the sunshine and the beautiful weather, and we're relaxing, and it's peaceful. I said, but imagine if you had a neighbor that just harassed you all the time while you're sitting out there, That'd be horrible, stealing your peace. And I know what it was like. I know what it was like to have my peace stolen from me, and it was horrible. And it was horrible always being anxious and dealing with anxiety and stress all the time. And peace is a huge blessing. But the important thing is to keep the faith, and constantly reading the Bible helps to enforce that, because it keeps drumming into your mind and your heart the promises, the constant promises of the Lord, that He provides for those who depend on Him. God is in control. I'm going to leave you with that thought. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. God bless.